For most, the path to citizenship is long and hard, with years of waiting and work to say their country is America. But there is another route to citizenship for the next generation of immigrants. They can enter the country illegally or fly in on a tourist visa to have a baby.
If someone here is illegally and they have a child, that child is automatically granted U.S. citizenship.
Senator Lindsey Graham and other Republican leaders want to challenge that by changing the 14th Amendment of the Constitution so babies born to foreigners in the United States are not automatically granted citizenship.
There are schemes along the border. You pay $2,500 to $5,000. They will sneak you across the border. They will take you to an American hospital, deliver your baby, and that child automatically becomes a citizen.
But many say Republicans are playing politics.
It's being raised to pander to those in the country who have fears about changes in the demographic composition of America.
As of 2008, 3.8 million illegal immigrants living in America have children who are U.S. citizens. That's an increase from 2003 when there were only 2.8 million. But that's only part of it. Wealthy foreigners are coming here to have a child and then going back with a baby that's forever a U.S. citizen.
Senator Graham says changing the 14th Amendment is worth debating as part of overall immigration reform. It would not affect the children who already are here, but legal experts say that the hurdles to changing the Constitution are so high that it's not likely to happen.
Many representatives do not agree with the Republicans' idea to get rid of the 14th Amendment. They say it would be an unconstitutional act against all Americans, and it would completely go against what this nation stands for.
Purpose for me to rise today is to talk about what's been given to this country in the form of the Constitution, and particularly the 14th Amendment. I would say to my friend from Texas, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Until we passed that Affordable Health Care Act, people with pre-existing conditions were being denied equal protection of the laws. We've passed that. They now have freedom from discrimination, but my friends on the Republican side of the aisle want to take away that freedom. That's wrong, and that's wrong for people in my district, for millions of people across the country, because their kids and they and their families and their friends have different physical conditions that require attention and must be covered and not discriminated against. And with that, I yield back, Mr. Speaker.
I noticed finally, Lindsey Graham used the term, as people have carelessly done over the years, referring to the 14th Amendment as something that has to do with birthright citizenship. And we ought to get rid of birthright citizenship. Well, let me see. If citizenship is not a birthright, then it must be a grant of the government. And if it is a grant of the government, it could curtail that grant in all the ways that fascists and totalitarians always want to. I think we ought to be real careful before we adopt the view that we want to say that citizenship is not a reflection of our unalienable rights. It is not a grant of government, but arises from a set of actual conditions, starting with the will of God, that constrain government to respect the rights of the people, and therefore the rights that involve the claim of citizenship. Those are really deep, serious issues. And when the amendment was written, when it was first alluded to in the slaughterhouse cases, the Supreme Court declared that they knew they were touching on something absolutely fundamental. And I think before we play games with it in any way, we need to remember that ourselves.